Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to Bull City Hangout. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham Skywriter, that's Durham, North Carolina's online community paper. And today, for Bull City Hangout, actually, I'm not even going to have an emphasis on information today. Usually, I tell you what's happening today. And basically, as you know, pretty much everything's been canceled. The Durham Farmers Market is closed for the month. And as indicated in the Let's Go page of the Durham Skywriter, durhamskywriter.com, you'll know that farmers are, at least the farmers who deal with the downtown farmers market, they are they're not going to the market, but instead they're dropping off and delivering and allowing you to pick up as well. The South Durham Farmers Market, they just closed, but they're running. They're still running in operation from 10 to noon every Saturday. But of course, they do ask that we practice social distancing. So right now, just kind of hanging out. Let me just get some topics out there. In fact, let me click on the link. So if you want to join me on camera, you can do so. That is now in the chat on Facebook. Let's see. So I've heard that some people have already started getting their stimulus checks, and they're showing them pictures of them on social media. I don't recommend you do that. But if you are not sure of your employment status and you do get one of those checks, I think they're going to be like $1,000 or whatever, spend it wisely. In fact, I'll tell you what I did when my aunt died. We were in a very precarious situation financially. And of course, when she died, that meant no more. We were living off of her, what do you call it, retirement. So I was doing the best I could do with my ad revenue, the Durham Skywriter, and also I was doing some DJing on the side, but primarily because I couldn't work. I did try to work. I did work at the North Carolina School of Science and Math for a while, and then my aunt, her condition just caused me to quit and just spend most of my time caring for her. But here's what I did when she died. Um, I got I think a couple $1,000 insurance money, and I realized, uh, like some people, when they get a couple thousand, they think of entertainment. But in my case, I had to think of ways to make money. So I said, I'm going to buy something that I can make money with. So that's when I became DJ Pity Pat. I actually went out and bought DJ equipment. Um, I'm a gigantic music fan. I know about music from around the world, from classical to jazz to country to bebop, whatever. I love music. I'm a music nut. My mom was a music teacher. Her dad was a music professor. And my dad was a musician. I never got to hear him because he hocked his saxophone when mom got pregnant. So didn't get to hear that. But that's when I became DJ Pity Pat. I realized I gotta get something in my hands that I could market myself with. And that actually helped me to save my house, et cetera, et cetera. I also bought a good camera. My dad had taught me all about photography, but I didn't have a good camera. But when my aunt died, I went out and bought a good camera and started doing freelance work. And also, of course, it helped elevate the quality of the pictures in the Durham Skywriter. I had been doing the Durham Skywriter all along, after moving here to Durham. And since then, I have upgraded my equipment, and of course, I have expanded into video. So I'm curious, what do you plan to do with your stimulus check? If you can share that, that would be really fun to know. Now, I know some people are upset about folks clamoring to open the state back up, everything back up. I saw pictures and videos of Florida. I think it's Jacksonville. They opened their beaches to throngs of people. I don't know how wise that is. But I'm wondering if you're in North Carolina or if you're in another state or even country, how and when do you think your area should start to open up? And in what kind of order do you think things should open up? Do you think the schools first? Do you think the banks are open, but of course, drive up only? Do you think those should open first? Because it's not easy to get your hands on money nowadays, unless, of course, you're online. You can operate that way. What do you think should open up first? The eateries, the local businesses? Because I hate the thought of people totally going out of business because of this. I understand you have to pay your rent. I know you have to pay your employees, but I hate the thought. I would rather that people just catch up slowly as they go along. I don't know about the that much about the business world, to tell you the truth, and I don't know if everybody will be able to recover. I sense not everybody will, but I pray that everybody can. Another topic we can discuss. I don't like to discuss negative things necessarily, but I'm curious about what you think about Trump calling to his constituents, apparently, to liberate Minnesota, liberate Michigan, and liberate our northern neighbor, Virginia. Some people think that that's calling for an armed rebellion. I don't know. I've seen people out there with their guns. I don't know. Like I said, people are crazy. Let me know what you think about that. And I'm also curious if you are discovering new hobbies or if you're taking on new self-improvement projects. I'm looking at my notes, so I keep looking down. Um, I read something on Facebook. There's this lady, I can't remember who it was, but she is getting more into cooking, improving her diet, avoiding the news, at least the bad stuff, walking, exercising, working out, reading like 3 books a day. And she says she feels great, the best she's felt in a long time. So that might be something to take into consideration. I'm wondering what you're up to these days. In my case, I've been on a quest to learn how to cook for the past year. And I've always been able to warm things up and do real basic stuff that my grandmother taught me. But I'm actually learning how to cook. I'm buying like good knives and a pressure cooker and equipment, and I've mastered a couple of recipes. I've been getting into making cornbread. In fact, I just took my cousin Julia some cornbread yesterday. She loves it, and I'll probably be taking my Aunt Martha V some cornbread later today, and my Aunt Mamie. She's looking forward to getting some as well. So I'm wondering what you're up to. I am walking, not every day. I had just started a walking regimen like a month or so before all this started. I was walking at Lyon Park for a half hour a day, and I missed that. I do get out and I walk like to Durham Tech and back. I might walk like around Durham Tech and then back home. But for the most part, I'm not walking every day, I have to admit. Every now and then, I'll go out on the trail, but I don't like the fact that I'm running into too many people. So I don't think that's a good option. I know a lot of people are out there walking. I prefer just to like walk that, like Bacon Street is like there's no people on Bacon Street, hardly anybody on Caps. So I'm able to go to Durham Tech and around and then down, I forget the name of that street. Anyway, that other street on my way home and not run into one soul. So anyway, so tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're up to. And I think a bunch of people liked the post where I invited you to join me, but I think too many people are shy and are afraid to join me. This is actually very fun talking on camera. Don't think it's the same as talking as being on TV, because obviously I don't have millions of viewers. Basically, I'm just talking with friends. Obviously, if you're watching, you're probably a friend of mine. So if you'd like to join, feel free. And otherwise, I'll just let's see. I've been talking for almost 10 minutes, and I think that's enough time to get the people who at least clicked like on the post that I put up on Facebook to join me. So I'm just going to take a sip of sweet tea from Chicken Hut. That's another thing. Keep your local restaurants in business. If you can venture out every now and then and make a purchase, I know they would really appreciate it. Because I hate the thought of things returning to normal and you go to your favorite restaurant and it's gone. I'm not trying to be negative, just saying. Okay. So I have been talking for 9 minutes and 35 seconds. So I do hope somebody joins me. Otherwise, I'm out and I will start cleaning my house, doing some ironing. Did my laundry yesterday so I can wash my dark clothes in a few minutes unless you join me. And I'll take another sip of Chicken Hut. So I thought Alfredo was going to join me because he asked for the link. I did post the link, and in fact, let me make sure. In fact, let me go on my iPhone here to make sure the link is visible because it's Saturday, and I was kind of hoping that people would join me. Let's see, real quick. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's visible. So I guess that's it because no one has joined me. I'm not really emphasizing information today. I just threw out some ideas for discussion. Hey, Barb. Oh, Barb, Eileen. I didn't even. Okay. Barb is here. And hello to Eileen. Hey, Barb, what's new? Why can't I hear you? Whoa, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Oh, there you are.
I let me shut off Facebook.
Okay, and Eileen's coming in 2 minutes, so she'll go to Facebook, I'm sure, and
Yeah,
click on the link. So how are you? I love your cap.
I'm trying to figure. Just 1 minute and let me shut down Facebook.
Okay,
What's wrong? Can you hear me now?
I can. I can.
I'm sorry. You can see I'm so raw this morning. I just got in from putting my corgis down for a nap,
Okay.
and I have walked them twice, each of them twice.
Already? It's pretty
Right.
early. It's
I
only nine
know.
o'clock where you
I
are.
know. And that's why I'm so raw. Is like
Oh,
I haven't even and I went to warm up. Don't leave. I would like to chat, but
sure.
please let me get a cup of coffee.
Absolutely.
And
And
so
Eileen's going to arrive
hey,
in a few minutes.
yeah, because Eileen and I met up yesterday, and
Hmm.
I said, Patricia and I were going to get together later, but I missed you because you'd gone on your webinar. And
Right,
then
right.
as things would twist and turn, I I had corgi issues,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
so
Hope they're
but I
okay.
desperately need a cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So
Absolutely.
I'll do that. Don't take off. Eileen's supposed to be here,
Okay.
and we'll chat. Okay.
Wonderful.
All
Wonderful.
righty. And let's see. You can just take me off screen, and I'll
Oh,
leave my
okay.
camera active, and then you can tell when I'm back.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Alrighty, so she'll be back. And Eileen Smith is like, well, Barb is, they're both experts in live streaming and podcasting and all that sort of thing. So you should probably follow both of them, Eileen Smith and Barb Conlon, because they're both worth following. They now Eileen has a bunch of online tutorials on I'm sorry, on YouTube. She has a channel, and she teaches all about I think just about every platform out here. She has done a tutorial for, and also things like podcasting and that sort of thing. So she's going to join in a couple of minutes, and definitely follow her. You'll meet her in a couple of steps. And so Barb is on her way too. Take another sip, and we will see what happens. I don't know if we're going to stick to these topics, but I am curious about these stimulus checks. I don't know if I'm going to get one. I guess I will. I don't know. Hey, there's Eileen. I don't know if I'm going to get one. Hey, Eileen. What is new?
Hey, I can't hear you. Hold up.
Uh-uh.
Uh
Hello, hello,
oh,
hello.
it switched to my speaker. When I plugged in the mic, it switched my headphones as there you go. Got it.
Okay, okay. So you can close your Facebook page now or YouTube page, whichever
It
you
was
were.
YouTube that was open.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Long time no see. How are
I can't believe
you?
I finally got in here with you.
Yeah, this is fun.
Because I was trying yesterday, and yesterday you left early.
Yeah, nobody. Let's see. I think nobody joined me, so I just went
Yeah,
ahead and left.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that you were going to do it that way. So I didn't get
Oh.
there till like you were gone.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm here now. That's all
Yeah.
that matters.
Yeah. Well, I had a couple of topics. I don't know if you're interested. I'm very curious about what people are going to do with their stimulus checks. It's none of my business. But
Okay. All right.
I still think it's a
That's
fun
a great
idea.
topic. Great topic. I have always been a fan and a follower of Susie Orman.
Okay.
And she has revamped her podcast. And right now it's called the Women in Money Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's Women in Money or the men who are smart enough to listen.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
And she puts out the show twice a week. And she had said back in the fall, and of course she plays clips of where she said over and over and over again that there was going to be a change in the market in February or March. She said that back in October. She said it in December. She said it in February. I mean, January. She said it many times. Okay.
How does she know?
Just from, she's been doing this for how long? She was doing it even before Oprah put her in the spotlight.
Wait, did she start out on radio? There was some lady I used to listen to who did financial information on the radio.
She actually started with books. Oprah Winfrey. I'm sorry. Susie Orman actually started with books.
Okay, I must be thinking about somebody else.
Let me just give you a quick, for those who don't have a Reader's Digest version of Susie Orman. She, I can't say she grew up poor, but she didn't really have a lot. And when she was in college, she was waitressing and to supplement her income and all of that. And she started getting interested in finance and everything. And eventually she got a job working for Merrill Lynch.
Ooh. Okay.
And she wanted to start her own business. As she was waitressing, she kept, she was talking to her customers and she befriended a bunch of them. And some of them put together some money, $10,000. This was back in the 70s, maybe. So she could go off on her venture of whatever it was she was going to do, her business.
Whoa.
And so she invested it with Merrill Lynch.
Okay.
Merrill Lynch, whoever was her advisor, gave her bad advice and she lost every single penny.
Dang, for real.
But there is laws against them doing that because the advice that they gave her was not even the advice you should give someone who was young and all. So she, even though she was later on started working for Merrill Lynch, she sued them.
Ooh.
Okay. So this is what really launched her, I think, as being more of, having expertise, because now she's got her own. Then she
must have won.
Yes, of course she won because they were wrong. They should have never, that person, whoever she worked with, should never have advised her to invest in those particular stocks.
Man.
Okay. Because she lost all that money. So, but of course, eventually she paid all those guys back and all her the Buttercup restaurant.
Okay.
So she started writing books and she had her own investment thing. And then eventually, I think it was just by chance, she got invited to fill a spot for somebody who didn't show up on Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, I'm sure she said yes to that.
Yes. And that's how, and Oprah Winfrey put her in the spotlight because she
That's
put her
amazing.
This is back in those days when it was the Oprah Winfrey show. It was, come on, when we would get home from school, work or whatever. And she was on there like 40 sometimes or something like that.
Wow.
And then eventually she had her own show and then she got connected with the PBS people. So whenever there's a PBS drive, Susie Orman may be one of the things that they show in raising money for your local PBS station.
Well, just from everything you just said, that teaches me two things: to be ready when opportunities come up, and to recognize opportunities when they come up.
Yep.
For real.
And so she's written several books at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And she's done her own special. She had her own show on CNBC for years. I think was it called the Ask Susie show? It might have just been the Susie Orman show. And so I watched that. I mean, I've been following because my mother is the one who introduced me to her. She's always sell packets where you would be able to download your budget or your will. And so you wouldn't have to go to a lawyer and all that stuff. And so she's always had even the CDs back in the day and the booklets, you know, when you would buy the binder and it would have all those financial stuff. And so anyway, I say all that, bring that back to the stimulus.
Okay.
Susie said before the checks even started going out, do not spend that money unless you absolutely have to, because we don't know what's coming down.
Exactly.
Okay. So, and unless you can't eat, but one thing you definitely, anybody who's listening to this, you definitely don't want to do, and it only makes sense. Hey, guy. Is don't pay off your credit card bills. Don't. Because first of all the credit card companies, all you got to do is call them, email them or whatever and say, I can't pay my credit card. They're for, Guy, you got a radio on or something?
You're coming
I'm on my Chromebook. I just wanted to see if it would work. Let me see.
Yeah, it works. It works good.
Probably the TV.
In fact, your picture looks better than mine. Yeah. So
how's that? Does that fix it?
Yeah, much better.
Okay. It was the TV.
They won't. They're not going to charge you extra interest. Like there's no financial institution out here today that's going to penalize people. You even probably got an email telling you, you know, don't worry, we're here for you. We're going to work with you. I mean, who didn't get an email, right?
Isn't that strange to get something like that where they're understanding for once?
So don't do it.
Well, I'll have to check my email. I really don't trust. I mean, my brother actually was a collector for Citicorp for probably a couple decades, but and so I was around in 2001 when you know, online, and lost when 9/11 happened. I lost half my client base. And so between 2001 and 2004 was a major awakening for my corporation, me personally. And I was a woman at 50 years old at that point in time also. So, you know, girls, there are things we go through at that time in our lives just naturally that can be extra challenging for our mental well-being.
I'm sorry, Barbara. I had to show Pat that I bought one of the things she recommended.
She just broke it.
Huh?
That was going to be a stress test, see if it would break when you drop it.
But I don't use it as much for what you recommended it. You recommended
what the hell is it?
It's actually
cushion.
I can describe what it is better, but I'll tell you.
It's inflatable. It's a seat cushion. It's originally made, I believe, for kids with autism who are fidgety.
Yeah.
It helps me because I have a bad back. I used to sit at my kitchen table on my at my computer, and when I would stand up, my back would ache because I have a bad back. Let me finish. But with this thing, it moves around. When you move in your seat, it moves around. So my back is much better with that.
So I use it now to work out with.
That is not what you're supposed to do.
We could start the outline for 101 uses for the chair cushion besides sitting on it.
Right.
I went through that
podcast.
My wife got a chair cushion, and it was, I don't know, it was one of those, you can drop an egg on it, it doesn't break. You've seen those commercials. And it's pretty good. So I saw a review on the internet of this guy was reviewing 3 different chair cushions. He liked the one that Amazon has. That's their best seller. That's what I got. It rocks.
Nice.
It's a really nice cushion. Nice. Not as good as the recliner I might nod off any second. I'm going to jump out of here. I just want to basically see if the Chromebook would even work on the.
Well, it works great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Daniels uses them all the time. That's what he uses, the Chromebooks and the Pixel books.
Yeah, this is a Google Pixel book that my son got me for Christmas. I could never afford it. It's like $900, but
Wow.
it rocks. It's got a virtual machine for Linux. I can have Linux on this hand and Chrome OS on this hand at the same time. I can go to the cloud and get everything.
That was a fantastic gift.
Wow.
Your son knows you so well.
Yeah, the Beav. We started calling him the Beav after Leave It to Beaver in about the 4th or 5th grade because he was all the time. What's this? How does this go? What is it? Constant questions. And we said, you know who he reminds me of? Leave It to Beaver. So we started calling him. His name is Steve. So we called him Steve the Beav. Yeah, Steve the Beav.
All right.
And
but imagine a kid who never asks questions. That's scary to me.
Well, you know what the pearl in that oyster was? At that time, I sold radio advertising. Imagine that. And so I'd write up a commercial and I'd hand the script to Steven. And I'd say, does this make sense? And then he would say yes, or no, I don't understand this part. And so we'd change it until the 5th grade mind could wrap their head around it.
Okay.
It was a winner. I had people coming up to me. Firestone Tires in the Puget Sound area. Firestone at that time had, I don't know, 11 or 12 stores around this sound. And they had a contest one weekend. Whichever store sold the most tires, the manager of that store won a color TV. Well, the town where I lived, Silverdale, is not as big as Pugetotropolis. I mean, Seattle and Kent and Auburn, all those big. So there's much bigger population. So what I did for his ad is I did what's called saturation bombing. It worked for the Allies against Germany. So I figured we'll run the commercial once an hour. Every hour of the day through the weekend, come on down to Firestone, buy some tires. I don't remember what it exactly said. The guy on Monday called me up and said, wow, what do you mean? I said, are you upset about that? No, I'm not upset. I won the contest for the TV. I got a color TV. And I'm going, well, that's a model I got to keep up. Yeah, I had a lot of fun selling radio. Yeah, a lot of good memories. But anyway, like I said, I was just stopping in quick to see if the Chromebook worked.
And it worked
and now,
well.
Now the not so happy face of the queen of everything just came into the room with a scowl. And I've woken her up with my yakking. Bye. I gotta go. I gotta go get my beating now.
Okay. Bye, Guy.
Take care.
That was Guy Cook, folks. If you don't know who that is, actually, he's an expert in podcasting too, right? Yeah. So yeah, I was just telling folks that Eileen Smith is an expert in live streaming platforms and podcasting, and Barb Tomlin is an expert in hot air balloons and live stream. Well, I mean, you're involved.
Yeah, 40 some years. But
wow. Yeah. Which to me is extremely exciting. I really hope, well, I don't know what's going to happen this year, but eventually I would like to attend one of those balloon events here in North Carolina for sure.
I think my core competency is really online community building. That's what I've dedicated, my company starting online. That's what the contracts were all about. In the beginning, it was with the software companies and then CompuServe and Prodigy and AOL. And so, but it's like all these years, all these decades, what was the common denominator of all of that? And I felt through everything that had happened, everything I'd experienced, if folks just had the opportunity to meet in person one time. And so in the technology field, it was pretty easily because back in those days we had Comdex, if you recall. It was really Comdex was like the major computer show. Then we had
okay.
one BBS Con, one ISP Con, and we got all these technology shows with the major corporations would sponsor. And because I worked with the folks online, it was very easy to meet in person, because you could do that at the corporations, at these various corporations' expense. Or if you had like me being a contractor to other corporations, you know, I had a business reason to be there, so it was something easy to write off. But there was one time you had an opportunity to meet in person. And so the other one time potential was through the hot air ballooning events, because it attracts a lot of technology people, scientists, educators, and I mean, Richard Branson is part of that community. So,
okay.
And you know, because that was my first connection to Richard Branson was through hot air ballooning and CompuServe. Back, you know, on the very, very early side, on the Virgin side. So, but the one thing was, it just took one time meeting in person, and you were locked for life. I mean,
that's awesome.
And so what we all talked about was the coming of this, that where the bandwidth and the technology would come together, so that you didn't have to actually meet in person, because what was the magic of meeting in person that one time back then, we can accomplish through this virtual connection of meeting through video and audio online.
Definitely.
So now the big panic point is, what if the internet went down?
Yeah, tell me about it. It better not.
One thing that we have, stay at home, but what if you picked up your phone and you couldn't connect to anything?
I'd probably faint.
That's something to think about, because it's a I mean, it is something that could actually happen.
Yeah, anything can happen these days.
Yeah, so...
Hey, Barb, Eileen gave us some tips. Hey, Fraser. Fraser's in Scotland. So Eileen was giving us a tip or two about the stimulus checks, and not to spend it all in one place. Not to pay off credit, because the creditors are giving us a break.
Well,
so
I don't trust the credit card companies, period. I absolutely hate Citicorp. I have a major account with Citicorp. I think I mean, they're like 6-figure type accounts. You know what I mean? They're large.
Yeah.
And the thing is that through the corporation and so forth, that you need to, in anything, read the fine print. But when for me, the awakening came with 9/11 in 2001, because it was all getting together and reading the fine print. And my feeling is that the first thing you should do, Eileen was right, is you need to contact all of your creditors and say, where do you guys stand on this?
Exactly. That's the thing. Don't assume. That's smart.
Don't assume anything.
Okay.
And start and keep an absolutely meticulous record of every communication you have. Because what happens at a point, if you can't make your payments, you can literally go almost a year without making a payments, if not a year. In fact, you know, I was a caregiver of someone who recently passed. His 1-year anniversary is coming up.
Wow.
In May, and he must have had 18 credit cards.
Good gracious.
No kidding. And he had them. He had American Express, Citicorp, Capital One. He had them all. And I said, why are you getting those credit cards at this stage in your life, when I would see them coming in and so forth? And he said, I'll never live to pay them off. And I said, that's the point. You know, what do you need them for? And he was buying things for his girlfriends, and just, you know, it was crazy.
Living life, I guess.
But no, because he had an experience back in the 90s or so where, you know, it was turned around on him. And his was, there's no way they can come after me after I'm gone.
Well, that's true,
And the bad part of that is, for the rest of us who are living, it's got to be made up for somewhere along the line.
oh,
You know,
that's
so it's
true.
really challenging. And so my philosophy is this: I didn't have to, even in the challenging times of losing the clients and so forth, I did not have to declare bankruptcy. I did the communicating, and I made the deals. And you can literally, not just about the payment thing, is say you can literally knock off, because so much of, if you aren't paying every month, paying it off. Now I do that, pay off every month, but back in those days, that was not the thing to do. You were taught not to do that, because then you had that interest write-off.
Right.
And in the corporate structure, I'm saying. So you can get them to write down 40%, because what happens when it defaults completely, they're going to sell it off to a collection company that's going to try and hound you for up to 10 years.
And you might be able to sell at less than half the price, though.
And that collection company will sell off again. So you could be like 3 levels down of people hounding you for a 10-year period, because they move all of that around.
But like I said, they'll settle for pennies on the dollar eventually.
Absolutely. You need to get on that phone and call them right away. But before you do that, and how I did it is I played the mental, because my brother, like I said, worked for them. And he was always joking about, if they only knew. And I thought, okay, I'm going to take some of those things he taught me. And so I played the games back on them, and literally got things, less than 50%.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
And
sure.
And so, and I also, because story-wise, it's like, how do we get ourselves out of this? And that's about changing your attitude and stepping forward and saying, with all the talents that you've been given, there's something that you can do. And so that's what we're talking about, pivoting now.
Yeah. I think what I'm going to do, if I get this check, I'll believe it when I see it. But if it magically appears in my account, I'm going to mostly leave it alone. But I think what I'm going to do is to reinvest in my toy making, which has been on hold for, it's been a year now. And now's the time to be selling toys while everybody is at home driving their parents crazy. So I think I'm going to do that. So how about you, Eileen?
Well, I already got mine.
You got your check.
Well, see, this is the way it works. I'm not sure if you know how this works.
Not at all.
All right. So if you filed your taxes in 2018, you may not have filed them yet for 2019 because we got an extension, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you filed in 2018, and if you got a refund, however you got that refund is how you're going to get your check. So if you got that refund by check, then that's how you'll get your stimulus check. If you got it by direct deposit, which is what I highly, 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 highly recommend.
Oh, yeah.
All your IRS refunds should be coming directly into your bank account, so you don't have to wait for the postman to lose it. And
I've been checking my app and nothing's appeared yet, but I hope soon. That'd be wonderful.
And you filed early on, because there's actually a link you can go to see what the status is and so forth too.
Yes, you go to irs.gov and then you'll see the different links on the homepage of where it'll be, something like, how do I check to see if I got my CAR?
Oh, okay.
Check.
Okay.
Or, the status of it or whatever it may be. But yeah, I in fact, one of my coworkers, she texted me, and her daughter and her granddaughter, they got them, I want to say Tuesday. And then I got mine on Wednesday. And
did you throw a party? Woo! Online party.
Like I said, it's not going anywhere. It's staying in the bank.
Okay.
Okay. Because first of all, do I need clothes? Nope.
Okay.
The one thing I need is to get my hair done. Can't do that. Can't get my nails done. can't. What do I need to spend money on?
Well, you're in a wonderful
I don't-
position then.
I don't carry credit card debt. So
Good.
that was,
Good.
but I just wanted to caution people because I know most people in the United States do
Do
carry
still do.
credit card debt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I just want, if anybody is listening to this, don't take that check and pay your credit card debt, because the credit card debt ain't going nowhere. And if your finances are at that point that you're maybe living a paycheck to paycheck, and trust me, I ain't putting nobody down because I did it for years. Okay.
Yeah.
Living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Okay. Put that money. That's like your emergency fund for right now, because you don't know if they're going to send you that email to say you're on furlough,
Mhm.
or you lost your job,
Mhm.
or if you're self-employed, all
Yeah.
of a sudden your income goes away. You may need that money to buy food,
Mhm. Earlier, before
pay credit card bills.
I definitely agree with what you're saying. Now, earlier, before anybody joined me, I pointed out that when my aunt died, we were in very precarious financial straits. And when she died, I got, I think, almost a couple thousand, insurance money. And I realized I had to invest in something that could make me money. Now, mind you, I don't have kids. I just have to worry about myself. And that's when I became DJ Pity Pat. Knowing that I have extensive knowledge in music, I went ahead and bought DJ equipment and started immediately marketing myself. I played for free at high profile events so the right people could see me. And now I'm the go-to DJ for the county, the city, the mall.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So, and another thing I invested in was a camera. I already had a cheap camera, like a toy camera that I was using for my newspaper. But of course, my pictures got better. Started doing freelance work. And yeah. So, depending on your situation, I would say you might want to invest in something that you know you can make money with.
Mhm. Now I'm going to step away for a sec, but I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. All righty. And if anybody wants to join, Zakia is watching, and Monica and Fraser. Feel free to join us. I put the link. I'll post the link again. There it is. If you would like to join us, boom. There you go. Come on board. So we're just shooting the breeze. I just was talking about stimulus checks. Another thing I was going to bring up was how soon do you think things should open up in your state or country? I think everything should move very slow because Durham is not a gigantic city. I think we probably have
I thought it was like 220 or 320.
at least 300,000 at least.
Yeah, I
But
know.
we have like 400 cases. 3 groups in particular came down with coronavirus. One was a touring group with Duke University. They came in from I don't know if it was Italy, but it was Europe, and a lot of those people were infected. And another group associated with Duke, I can't remember what happened, but they were infected, or they were the first group. And then there was a church choir here in Durham. They thought they were playing it safe. They had choir rehearsal. They used the hand sanitizer and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought they were staying sufficient amount of space apart. But when you're singing, you're expelling air, and forcefully. A bunch of people got sick, 2 died. So we have 400 cases now in Durham. So I think we need to move real slow. I also see when I go to the store that not everybody's wearing masks. And in fact, the mayor, I can't remember if it's the mayor of the city or the governor of the state, but somebody in North Carolina says it's mandated now that you must wear a mask when you go shopping. So there you go. So I'm just very, very, very curious what's going on in other people's cities and states. So is there a mandate, Barb, in
in
Washington?
No, I'm actually right now, my home base is New Mexico, Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm right now at the resort property up in Central Oregon, which is very remote compared to what you're having to deal with. Live up on a mountainside, but
So your air must be nice and clean.
Exactly. Plus, I actually, when I was out walking yesterday, I took a sign because the resort had put up the thing about social distancing,
Mhm.
But as I was sharing with someone else yesterday, that's the way the life is up here because a resort experience, typically there's second and third homes of folks.
Mhm.
And so, with them being mandated to stay at home in Portland, I mean, the rest of the state kind of thing,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
we have so many, the tourists come from California and Washington, then there's no one occupying
Okay.
those, the majority of them. But I mean, it's a gated area and all the security thing is there, but it's been because I was here I came up here for the first time uh in the 2008, when
Mhm.
things had started falling apart in 2008, and I
Yeah.
watched major name entrepreneurs had homes up here, and they'd be out on their patios, like the head of, I think, of the Baskin Robbins thing, and they were
Mhm.
talking about all this happening way back then. It
Mhm.
changed
Mhm.
back then. And the thing is that we're isolated to begin with. And
Mhm.
so, because of the nature of the pathways and so forth, it would be rare, unless you're purposely walking with a tribe, with
Mhm.
a group of people,
Mhm.
you would always be at least 6 feet away. But
Okay.
just like I've taken the corgis for a walk this morning, and I didn't see another human being,
Wow.
and in 2 different routes, and early this morning. And I know also, because of routine, what are the times when tourists are likely to be there. Now, of course, I'm not getting the tourists because
Mhm.
they're not coming down. But
Nice.
until I would say, I mean, we did have a few people last weekend, but last weekend was noticeable that there was so few. Easter weekend, in particular, I used to, I mean, until this year, I always did things like planting eggs for the kids, down by the lake and
Easter
so
eggs.
forth.
Mhm.
And I got those stuffed animals when they were really cheap at Walmart, the year before, so I could have them,
Okay.
to just have them sitting there for the kids to discover them,
That's clever.
and so that was my entertainment, is to watch them, their eyes get so big and come upon those things. But
Mhm.
so I didn't get that joy this year, and they didn't get that magic because they
Yeah.
weren't here.
That's
So
too
it's
bad.
quiet. But my husband is at our home in Albuquerque, and we talk daily, virtually, of course, a couple times a day. And down there, I mean, he can't even play golf. He plays golf several times a week,
Mhm.
and he
But
can't even play golf. And
nobody's out
yet,
there on the golf course, are they?
but think about the game of golf and how far away people are. You can go and play golf by yourself.
Mhm.
You have to be with a group of people.
Hmm.
And a lot of the top guys, they go out and practice. They're by themselves all the time. I mean, they go out and play, and they're by themselves a lot because they're doing studying and so forth,
Yeah.
their shots and so forth. And this is a golf course mecca here. There are 3 major golf
Mhm.
courses on my resort.
I know it's a bad idea to go anywhere near the driving range, though, because
But
that's usually crowded, full of people, I'm sure.
the but in Albuquerque,
Mhm.
the city has said it's okay to play tennis on the tennis courts, but you can't play golf. Now think about that.
Now,
Think about how close.
In Durham, they're saying you can't play a sport where any of the equipment is shared, and that includes tennis because you're hitting the ball back and forth.
Right.
So I guess all you can do is just run track, I guess. Or
Yeah, it's different. Each state is different. You're going to see a lot of differences across the country and
mhm.
how attitude and actions taken. But they can't. What I'm seeing is that cities, counties, and state, you know, they can't all come to agreement themselves within themselves, and they each, so it's a challenge for every state at this point in time.
Now, Eileen, you're almost like the opposite. Instead of living in a quiet, remote area,
she's right in the middle of
big
it.
city.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you guys about this tool that my friend John Eric Mosler from Adventure Social developed. It is it's like a messenger app, but you can get your status updates. Actually, I'm going to see if I can screen share.
What
for the coronavirus thing?
And it's called, you type in the words, if you could screen share that. Yes. You type in the words COVID near me.
Yeah.
Really?
You type in COVID near me. So wait a minute, hang on. COVID
near.
And what it'll do, if you see here, it gives me COVID near Philadelphia. Are you seeing that? You're probably not seeing that because I popped out into another window.
Yeah.
Okay, confirmed 8,563, total deaths 298. This is as of the 17th. Now I know this is accurate because we also have a city councilwoman who posts them on Instagram, who posts these totals. And see, this helps me avoid from watching the news. So then if I just want to get a 7-day graph, then see how that popped up with a 7-day?
That's amazing.
And then, he wants you to share it, subscribe for update. In fact, this tool is going to be submitted for a hackathon next week. You can get a 10-day trend, which looks even a little different. So you can see that.
I'm going to add this to the Durham Skywriter. This is nice.
Yeah, you just go to Adventure Social, which is the Facebook page.
Oh, Adventure
Social.
Okay.
And then you type in the words COVID near me.
Okay.
COVID near me. So you have to type into the messenger bot because you can, when you're on somebody's Facebook page, you can see their messenger over on the side, or maybe he has it so it pops up and asks you, why are you here? Or hi, do you want to know about COVID or whatever? I'm not sure because I signed up. I've been beta testing it. So, so I was already.
Thank you. This is awesome though.
Yeah, it is. And it saves you. Cause like, I know you said that you haven't watched the news in a couple of days, cause after a while it gets depressing. Like they'll tell you one positive story, but then they tell you 8 negative stories. And it's scary sometimes.
And I am a news hound, and it's just gotten out of control for me.
Because they find the worst case scenarios to tell you, because that just makes it, all the more dramatic. And sometimes you just want to know, okay, just give me the numbers. How's it doing in my area? And if there was any other kind of major alerts or anything, then he would probably build that into the app as well.
Nice.
But yeah, and you also can get the 30-day. I didn't show you the 30-day growth.
Okay, trend growth. Okay.
Since we are on Facebook, you can get that right on Facebook too.
That's what I'm saying. You go. Yeah. Oh, you mean?
Well, I'm not through Adventure Social. I'm saying Facebook has
give you the 7-day, the 10-day, and the 30-day
right in your neighborhood. Right in your neighborhood. You should be, unless you dismissed it, it should be coming up on your profile to get the local information.
I probably would ignore it. If, like, in other words, if John Eric hadn't coded this, I would never follow it.
I've noticed it.
But
so that's somebody you know?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Okay.
And so I'm going to stop the screen share. So at least you guys have an idea. Of course, you got to give me your email, because he's going to ask you where you live, because else can he tell you?
Right.
And so that way you can get all that information.
Thank you.
And I like the graphs that he shares, because like I said, there's a city councilwoman that puts the same thing on Instagram, but it's real puny And it's like you got to try to pinch and zoom in to Instagram to see it and all of that. And but she doesn't do the trends, the 30-day, the 10-day. She just tells you this is what happened last night.
Okay.
And she talks about Philadelphia, but I think she may also mention our surrounding areas because actually Jersey, out of our tri-state area, which is Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Jersey, Jersey got hit the hardest because it's so close to New York. Okay, so
what about Delaware? I never hear about people living in Delaware.
Delaware's numbers are really low.
Yeah, because
they're really low. Yeah,
they're pretty sparsely populated, right?
Yeah. No, it's not that. But it's small.
Yeah,
it's super small. So, so for us, there's only thing that's open is the supermarkets, and like the Home Depots and things like that.
Here, the auto mechanics are open.
Yeah, you can. I was going to say you can get your car repaired.
And construction's still going on because they can't stop construction. So
there's no real construction projects going on. Oh. They gave folks the opportunity to make sure that whatever projects they were working on, that everything was secured so that, somebody wouldn't get hurt or wasn't like leave a gaping hole in the road, things like that were taken care of. But yeah. Oh, and Zakia knows a lot. Delaware troopers were stopping out-of-state drivers from entering. Yeah.
Ooh, because Delaware pretty harsh.
Well, and they're doing the same thing in Florida. Because and that's where John Eric is in Florida. They want to, because a lot of people from New York, they have their second homes in Florida. Okay, so they don't want those people bringing the virus down there.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So they will look at your license or I don't know your tag or whatever. I don't know how they stop you from coming in. That part I'm not familiar with. But I do know they don't want you to do. They don't want you coming in to their state, because Jersey is where a lot of people from Philly have in Philly they call it going to the shore. I just use my air quotes.
Going to the shore.
The shore. I never been into that because I don't like the beach. So, but all of my coworkers go to the shore. And they all got summer homes. Like that's just a thing. You just like don't not have a shore home. But because New Jersey has been much harder hit than any of the other states, the governor of New Jersey told everybody, like, don't come to your summer home or don't come to your shore home.
Yeah.
Don't.
Wow. I can ask my Chicago friends what's going on with Michigan because a lot of people have Michigan homes.
But and because they have a lot of lakes and things there. Yeah.
Well, Lake Michigan. I mean, Chicago is right on Lake Michigan, and you go around. Right.
Well, they definitely got problems up there.
Yeah. So.
And Zakia is right here in Philly, so she's put up that comment. She said,
"What's going on?"
Many are trying to cross state lines for those last-minute liquor store runs. It was a news story.
You're kidding, really?
Well, this is what I mean about the news. They find the worst scenario to report on.
Last minute.
Okay, so this is like because that's always been a thing to go down to Delaware because the taxes are cheaper.
Okay,
down there, to go down there and buy your liquor.
Oh, Barb will be back, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, she probably will. So yeah, but in Philly, it's I think we are being very good with following the instructions. Of course, there's always going to be outliers, but pretty much the market is where most people are going. I really, even out here, or actually where I live, I see people walk their dogs and go back in the house.
Wow. Okay.
That's it. When somebody comes, when people pull up, you see them bringing groceries in the house. That's all they did was went to the store.
You come right back
and come back home.
The just a few times I've seen Philadelphia, it looked like it was really compact and crowded.
It's based on the area.
The neighborhood was very much like my old neighborhood, Woodlawn, but it was this particular stream I was watching. It was very low income, with like what do you call those?
Row homes.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 and 3 story row homes, really tight in together.
Yeah, and it's all about the neighborhood because, like, right where I live,
Mm-hmm.
it's all twins. I'm the only, like, there's 4 people around in this neighborhood that live in a rancher, and I'm one of them.
Twin is what? What's
twins means there's 2 houses and then there's a big space. 2 more houses, then there's a big space.
I've never seen that. Okay.
Twin. Well, that's a big thing in Philly.
Twins.
And so, and all the houses are big.
So what do? You share the side lot with your neighbor or something?
Now, I do live in a twin, but we don't really share anything. It's just a wall. Well, because I'm on a corner, so that's unique for me because I have a front yard, a side yard, and a backyard.
Nice. Nice.
Okay, so what, Mr.
Oh, you mean the twins they're attached?
Yes.
Oh,
So like you were talking about the row homes, like I grew up in a row home, and the home that I sold last year was the home I grew up in. That's a row home. That's a block with like 70 homes on the block, and they're all attached.
Wow. Okay, because we would call that a 2-flat in Chicago. I own the building that I owned was a 2-flat, where it's one building, and when you enter the vestibule, there's 2 doors. One goes straight back. That was my apartment. And then one, when you open the door, you go upstairs to the upstairs apartment. Okay.
Now that's how Rodney's apartments are. Cause Rodney's a landlord. So he's got 4 units, like what you just described. So it's 8 apartments. Same common vestibule. You walk up to the first, you walk back to the first floor, then you walk up to the upstairs. But around here, like I would say maybe a 7 or 8 block radius, there's not too many apartments. There's all these twin homes. Some have more yard than others. But like I said, the row homes are very, very common. And in fact, my daughter did a YouTube video, because my daughter is into real estate. Bye, Sakia.
Thanks, Sakia.
My daughter's into real estate. And so she did a whole YouTube video before COVID or anything about why there's so many row homes in Philadelphia. And it has to do with, there was a lot of manufacturing, a lot of factories. So they had to have places for the people to live that worked in the factories. So they developed, thousands and thousands of row homes.
We have a lot of those here in Durham because of the tobacco industry. So we have a lot of homes that look identical. They're just built all straight in a row. Now, in Chicago, I'm assuming that this word flat that we use, we probably borrowed that from England, because they say flats instead of apartments. And also,
they talk about that a lot in New York, too, because there's even got Flatbush in New York, right?
No, tell me if you have this in Philly, because Philly is also an historic city. In Chicago, you can say, I live in a first floor apartment, but you have to be careful, because first floor for some people, especially like newer building, is literally the first floor, whereas the European first floor is really upstairs.
Oh, our first floor is the first floor.
Okay.
And
because I can Hyde Park, that's the University of Chicago neighborhood. I lived there for a while. Sometimes your first floor apartment was up. You go upstairs to the first floor, and what's considered the first floor in other neighborhoods would be considered the garden apartment.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's weird. So you have to say, is it a first floor or first floor?
Yeah, no. In Philly, it's always the first floor. We don't have a garden first floor.
I think it's European or something. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
Because the tile work very often is really ancient, with the symbols that were, I guess, adopted by the Nazi Party. Swastikas were common symbols. They meant no harm until the Nazis adopted them. But you see a lot of those. A lot of people are like, oh my God, Nazis. I'm like, no, that predated.
And what? This is in Chicago?
Yeah, the tile floors when you walk into the vestibules of a lot of old buildings, you'll see it lined by swastikas.
Yep.
But they meant no harm.
Yeah, right.
Yes. So so in Philly, with it being such a big, how many people live in Philly, by the way?
Good question.
Because I was shocked. I was reading about the different states wanting to open everything up, and I was amazed that some states don't even have 1 million people in the entire state, like Wyoming, Idaho. What was the other one?
1.5 million, and that's how many views I have on my YouTube channel.
All right.
Yeah.
Really? You have more than 1 million views on your YouTube channel?
I have 1.5.
Man.
So that's 1,500,000.
Sweet. Tell us the name of your YouTube channel so we can watch.
You just go to Eileen Smith. Just type in Eileen Smith.
Okay. In fact, I'm going to type it out.
Yep. So it's youtube.com/Eileen Smith. But even if you search for Eileen, ILEANE, you're going to find it.
Okay.
And it's mostly tutorials.
Okay. I'm typing this out because your name, Eileen, might be misspelled by some.
But I got I got my StreamYard banner here with.
Yeah, I see it.
I know, but I'm just
making
saying.
sure.
Thank you.
Just making sure.
Yep. So, yeah.
There you go.
Thank
Check
you.
out Smith's
Thanks for
YouTube
the
channel for
plug.
tutorials. And you're an expert. Somebody was just telling me about Anchor, which is a podcast. Probably the easiest to use podcast, would you say?
From my experience, yeah. Actually, there's a couple others that, Anchor has a little competition. Like, a couple of places have popped up, but I would say Anchor. I would stick with Anchor because they have the backing of Spotify.
Okay.
There's a new podcasting app every day, and some of them are hosts, some of them are just apps for listening, and then there's a podcasting app that dies every week. So,
okay.
They don't have a good business model.
Okay.
But because Anchor is now owned by Spotify, they don't have to worry about business model because Spotify is like the number 2 app, 1 or 2. I think it's behind iHeartRadio.
Okay, and also the thing about Anchor is that once you get join Anchor and start your podcast, I think they distribute you to 8 different platforms. Is it 8?
It might be more than that now.
Whoa!
Yeah, because there's, like I said, there's a new app coming up every day.
I've got to revive my Anchor. I've only done a couple of podcasts. I need to get back to that because there's a lot. I have a lot to say, but I can't find the time to say it.
So let's see. I can tell you where I am. Okay. And I'll do screen share. And I'm actually using this site called Radio Public. You know what? That doesn't even have all of them. So I will take you to Pod News.
Wait, tell me what Radio Public is. Is that something I should know?
Oh, that's where I am. It's a website that I have for my site.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it's a listening app.
It's
also a listening app. So hang on. But Pod News is going to tell you all the different places that I have the show listed. So
Pod News. I'm going to write that down.
So,
a lot of people are so upset with what's happening in the news and everything. They're avoiding the news and instead reading and self-improving. And
okay, well, I will let you show my screen share first, and then I'll scroll down. Okay. There you go.
Miss Eileen presents the Anchor Show.
So, yes, Miss Eileen presents the Anchor Show.
Wait.
Well, they never said anything to me about my show being called the Anchor Show. I just said, you know what? Before they even start or before they even try to say anything, I will put my name in there. And I like my name to be in my stuff anyway. That's why I always make sure people know how to spell my name.
You're clever like Disney. Disney does that. Disney's so forth and so on.
Okay, right. Okay, yes. And so here's all the places that
much more than 8.
I didn't even know. See, now I haven't been on this page in a while, and Swoot, I don't know. They just came from nowhere. I don't even know what that is. I'm not even
Apple, iTunes, Bullhorn.
Well, this is in alphabetical order: Breaker, Castbox, Google Podcast, iHeart, iVoox. I didn't know that was on here.
That one. Overcast, Player, Pocket
Cast. Podchaser is really cool because Podchaser is the internet movie database of podcasting.
Okay.
So I want to show you guys Podchaser, because if you've never gone over here, you can go over here, and you can also do ratings and reviews. It's taking so long to load, but it's coming.
And this is all free, right?
Yes, this is free, but you definitely, if you have a podcast, you want to get your show included in it, because like I said, it is the internet movie database for podcasting.
Whoa.
So you can go over here and you can search by different podcasters, and you can see not only their shows, but also the interviews that they've done on different places.
Angie Dickinson.
Okay, let me scroll back up. I
What
didn't see
the heck?
Yeah, she was a guest.
Look at that 1960s hair.
They put, I don't know why they grabbed that old photo, but anyway, and the thing is that currently, because you can, like I said, leave reviews for podcasts, and currently they are using those reviews. They're donating 25 cents for each review
to Meals on Wheels.
Meals on Wheels.
COVID-19
and they extended it, and it's being matching donations by Libsyn. I'm sorry, I'm trying to scroll down to the part about the matching donations. Okay, maybe they don't have it, the Libsyn logo here, but it's being matched now by Libsyn, and here it is right here. Libsyn will match all donations up to $1,500. And Captivate, which is another podcasting host, by Mark Asquith, they'll match up to $750. So this is, a site that I definitely want to bring to you guys' attention. Just go over to podchaser.com. If you could put that link there.
Oh, okay.
Podchaser.com. And you can search for your favorite podcast. You can leave that person a review. I'm going to stop the screen share now. You can leave that person a review, or if you are a podcaster, you want your podcast to be listed on Podchaser. And it's not so much a way for somebody to listen to your podcast. It's a way for people to leave you reviews, so that you can get feedback from people. You can also go and leave reviews for your favorite podcasts.
I love it.
I did one for my friend, Lisa Irby. She has a podcast. I know I've talked to you about Lisa Irby before. I don't know if you remember, but she does a podcast about print on demand t-shirts.
That's why I know her name. I've seen her on YouTube.
By Amazon. I don't even do print on demand, but first of all, I love Lisa. I've always loved Lisa, but I listen to her podcast and I feel like I know what's going on with print on demand, and I don't even do it.
Wow. Yeah. I subscribe to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's the passive t-shirt. Passive t-shirt profits. Passive shirt profits.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely know. In fact, let me write her name down as well, because I'm going to check her out.
IRBY. Oh yeah, I can go to my Twitter, and then you can see her.
Awesome.
And they make it so nice when you send out that tweet that you just left that person a review, because they turn it into like a little banner with the person's name. Let me show you. Okay, let me come back and screen share again.
Okay, because I was going to ask you about your Anchor homepage. It looks like it looks unique and really nice. I was wondering if you designed it yourself.
Okay. Hang on.
We can look at that later.
So I did this review for Lisa's
do this.
Passive Shirt Profits Podcast, PS. And this was the review that I left. Lisa Irby does a fantastic job helping folks navigate the print-on-demand industry. She shares in-depth knowledge of how to find a profitable niche and use your design skills and creativity to make passive income streams. Her delivery is great, and her said something about her personality. I gotta click on that. And her
where to go?
To load.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm waiting for it to load. But anyway, that was basically it. I just said her upbeat. That's what it was. The word I used about upbeat.
Nice.
And, okay, wait, here we go. Yeah, there you see it. You would have saw, but I had to click off of it.
There it is.
Her delivery is great, and her upbeat personality shines through in every episode. There you go.
Nice.
So you just hope that you have a loyal listener like I am for Lisa.
That's a well-written review.
I don't even do print on demand.
That's really funny.
Okay. But I now listen to every episode because I went into my app that I use. It's called Overcast. And sure enough, all of them were listened to.
Wow. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, because she knows her stuff. And, I like when people know their stuff. So you were asking about my website. So
your Anchor.
Not the one that Anchor provides. This is the one that I use Radio Public for.
Okay.
And it's I'm screen sharing now. Okay. So
I like that.
It's the Anchor show, and then they give me a nice little header. Now, these are actually articles that I've written.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it went to the articles page. Let me go to the home page.
Eileen, you're really doing it.
Huh?
You're really doing it.
Oh, thank you. This is actually what the home page looks like. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you can see here my social media links over here, my description of the podcast. Then I get the opportunity to feature a video, and I chose this one. And this is one of my most popular videos about Anchor.
Nice.
And times that I was in the press. So, for example, I was interviewed in Black Enterprise, and I was interviewed on the Small Biz Trends website. And I could have then you can put a summary about your show. Then these were reviews that came in.
Nice.
Okay. All from
Eileen, you're amazing. You're awesome.
Some of these were actually audio reviews that people left, and then I just transcribed them and put them in there.
Nice.
But I mean, I could have went on, and there's pages and pages of them. But I just put a couple. And then there's my little bio about the host. Really wanted to make it short. And then you get to put some featured episodes. Like you can handpick featured episodes that you want to be on this page.
Nice.
Then if you want people, somebody wants to view all episodes, then they would just go into.
They can just see them all in chronological order.
So this is a site that I got from Radio Public. It's not free, so I really don't talk about it too much because I know usually folks that podcast on Anchor, they want free stuff. So,
well, I like how you grabbed the name the Anchor Show because I think Ross Brand did that for StreamYard. I think he has a StreamYard show.
Yes, well, he's in a partnership with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, he does their show. He does a live stream. I think it's twice a month. And
it's on Wednesdays.
And it goes to LinkedIn. It goes everywhere except Twitch. And he I guess you could say he works for them for that show. For that show. It's not like that's his full-time gig.
I give him props. Welcome back, Barb.
Hi. My corgis called. In case you had.
They called? Your dogs called?
Yeah, they were barking, and I was like, what's going on out there? So I had to run and take care of them, and everything is calm again.
That's good. What's the temperature in your respective cities or towns?
I'll have to
Oh,
Because it was 55 a minute ago. It's supposed to go up to 66.
Let's see what mine is.
hang on. I'm going to go to my app.
It says I'm only 46 out here. Oh, no, it's 55.
I'm 46.
Okay, it's 63. It's going up to 66.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
supposed to
I
be
knew.
sunny, though.
And maybe the corgis knew. I don't. When I put them down just before coming in, remember I told you, and I needed my coffee,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd taken them both on walks. We had this beautiful streak of warm weather. I was able to do that, and just as soon as I walked in, it was like it was going to rain. All of a sudden, the temperature dropped, and
Oh, weird.
it was windy and everything. And I said, "Okay, I'm just going to put you guys back in here, and I'm going to grab some coffee." And so I just come back to get my coffee cup, and I saw that you were going live. So that's when I said, well, I'll come back and join you. But
How close are you to the ocean with your being in Oregon?
That's a good question. I should immediately know the answer to. It's not very far away. It's about.
So your weather is volatile, right?
I'm actually in one of those. I did research on this before choosing this property, and it's in one of those zones that the weather goes all around us down. You can drive down off the side of the butte and find snow. You can find wind. You can find fires and all kinds of things, but it's beautiful up here most of the time. Not anything extreme. So that
But when I went to,
that's why I love it.
when I visited Galway, Ireland last year, I was amazed because the weather was it was always just swirling. I mean, you never knew really what the weather was going to be. It was rainy one minute and sunny the next. It was quite beautiful because it was actually springtime. It was kind of cool for me, but yeah, you could never really know exactly when it was going to rain. Even the weatherman didn't know. But it was fun. It was fun. So what else you want to talk about? Because we were talking about the stimulus checks. We were talking about housing and housing styles and opening up the different states. And I guess the last question I had was if you've discovered any new hobbies. Now, Eileen, I know that you're actually not goofing off. I mean, you're actually working from home. And I'm working from home as well, but that doesn't stop me from goofing off, however.
Well, I was going to tell you about my Twitch watch parties.
Ooh, tell us.
Well, Twitch is owned by Amazon, right? And Amazon has come up with another ingenious way to get people to come over there and watching movies on Amazon.
Oh,
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I have that.
So good. Because what happens is they started rolling this feature out to some of the big time, Twitch streamers. And now it finally has trickled down to yours truly.
All right.
And so what happens is this can only be done on desktop. It can only be watched on desktop.
Okay.
It's for US only. I'm giving you all the disclaimers up front.
Okay.
US only. If you live in Canada, you can't watch it. It just so happened this morning when I went on the stream, I had 2 Australians and a Canadian and another country in the room. And I was like, none of you guys would be able to watch it. Even though they're all Prime members, but and Twitch has said that they're going to roll it out more broadly. And so they have a catalog of TV shows and movies that you can watch.
What about so not any, like, for example, they have classic Doctor Who, not the new Doctor Who, but the classic.
No, there's no Doctor Who is not part of it. I thought about you when I was looking at the list last night.
Okay.
And but that doesn't mean that it won't become part of it, because initially when they invited me and they said, yes, it's available on your channel. And they said, go here for the list. and I screenshotted the list.
Mhm.
And then when I went in there last night to actually pull from the list, what I wanted wasn't there.
Oh.
And what I ended up watching wasn't on the list. So that lets me know this is a
evolving
constant thing. Yeah. And so are you familiar with Bones?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Bones is a TV series, and it talks about people, this team that works in a, I guess you could call it a investigation lab of murder.
Forensic medicine, yeah.
And so they look at the bones, and so the lead character her nickname is Bones.
Okay.
And it ran for, I want to say 12 seasons, maybe 13. I'm not sure.
So you're able.
Great series.
So you're able to watch it with others on Twitch.
I watched it, yes, last night. Yep.
Yeah.
Now I think this is an outgrowth of something that Twitch has been experimenting with for the past couple of years. A couple of years ago, they had a Doctor Who marathon where they ran each and every episode of Doctor Who from 1963 up into the first ending at 1985 or whatever. And then after Doctor Who, I think they did that twice. And then they followed it with some anime show. I can't remember which one. Pokemon or something.
Oh, they're always right. Twitch is constantly coming up with some kind of a special for people to watch. So you're right. It is.
Oh, they had Knight Rider. But I don't know if they have anything running now, because I haven't heard from Twitch in a while regarding marathons.
Probably because they're trying to push now this watch parties.
Okay.
So it's being featured.
I gotcha.
They've got that, and then they have the karaoke on Twitch too. That those are two of the initiatives as a result of COVID-19 of giving people things to do together online.
I didn't know they had karaoke. Wow.
Are you talking about the Twitch Sings?
Well, it's the Twitch Sings.
Yeah, that's been going. That's been out for about a year because Alfredo actually does it.
Yeah, but initial beta was going on, but they've really been pushing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, all the sites are now,
and they've improved it a lot. So
pushing.
It was like, I think we tested it back in November of this last year initially.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
So the watch parties, I thought it was fun, Barb and I talked about it ahead of time, and we were concerned about, like, with StreamYard, because you're not able to record the actual content that's from Amazon Prime. So what happens, Barb, is in your recording, it only shows you.
Oh, wow. So it's like a reaction video.
Well, yes. So the recordings really don't have much value.
And what you mean? Are you saying that you went ahead and recorded in StreamYard?
No. I actually
recorded in Twitch.
Let me explain. Yeah. I actually used Ecamm Live. Okay. And Ecamm Live automatically saves whatever your stream is. It automatically gets saved on your hard drive. So when I looked at that video afterwards, it was just the video of me.
Yeah, but that's with Ecamm Live. That's by application.
But it's going to be the same way, because actually what happens when you're looking at it, when you're the viewer watching this stream, the person who's the host, their video is like goes up into the top. It doesn't cover up the screen of the Prime Video content. And so that's what's going to StreamYard, Ecamm, or whatever. It wouldn't matter. That Prime content is not part of your stream. Twitch is just pushing that out on your channel.
That's just like the DJs. DJs are discovering Twitch as well, because they know that I don't know if you can record DJ sessions or not, but they're not worried about the copyright problems that you run into with YouTube and Facebook. So they're starting to discover Twitch.
Well, but Amazon, all of these guys, Amazon, Google, and Facebook are all paying the music companies for rights because they realize that this is an important thing to do. You can Google that because they've updated even more. There's even more music available through Facebook now than there was before.
See, the issue on YouTube.
But what she's saying, that's not necessarily the same for everyone. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
That technically, it can be done. It always has been able to be done, but it's in the way you do it. And so, and I know that technically because I've been beta testing for so long, we're aware of that. And there are certain things that just can't, there's only so far they can go. So
Yeah. I was just concerned that recording that I would get back from Ecamm or StreamYard would be in violation, but there is no concern about that. Now, if
that's good,
if you want to break the terms and go ahead and do it yourself, that's on you if you get caught. But I don't know that there would be that much of an advantage of doing that. And
where that typically happens is in foreign countries. I'll just tell you that.
Really?
Yeah, well, for one thing, because they have the low bandwidth, and so they can't watch it live. And then, like I said, it does not work on mobile. So a lot of those folks don't have a computer, right? And so they're not going to be able to watch it.
Wow.
So, but they've got a whole black market. I mean, years ago, this was what we all did. Before the internet, you always could go to the barbershop and the hair salon and somebody would be there selling DVDs, right?
Oh, brother.
I never, not the ones I went to, but I'm not saying it didn't happen and that I didn't know that it happened.
Oh, yeah, it happened.
What is that thing that people buy when they want to pretend they're somewhere else? VPN or something?
VPNs, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if that would come into play at all. But I know people
it could, but your account, when you sign up for Twitch, you would have to be using that VPN and saying that you don't know what's coming down the pike. You know what I mean? Like let's just say my friends who live in Australia were there. Actually, you guys may know Doug Hewson, YT, and also Roz Bundy. They were both on my stream this morning.
Okay.
Actually, I'm sorry. Roz was actually there last night. And before I started the watch party, and as we started reading through everything, I said, Roz, you might not be able. She said, that's okay. I understand, but she has Prime, but was not able to watch it. So
wow. I'm gonna check my Twitch because I check Twitch every day as soon as I wake up because you're usually on early.
Yeah, so, I did go early. Well, this morning wasn't that early. It was like 9ish, 10ish.
Okay, I just want to see if it's indicated that you were on.
This morning, I just did the recap. I didn't do the watch party this morning. Because now I know that I probably need to do more talking, more, if I'm going to get any value out of that video. I'm probably not going to get any value out of it, but if I wanted to, I can't just sit there and laugh because who's going to sit there and watch that later?
And it's interesting. It's interesting that you're even on Twitch because most Twitchers are gamers, even to this day, right?
Most of them are, yeah. But
the arts and crafts market is pretty big on Twitch. That's
really?
where Melody Lane comes in. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't have the numbers. I don't, I guess I could look it up somewhere because there's a couple of places like Stream Labs. They publish numbers every quarter. Then there's also Tube Filter that keeps track of these kinds of numbers. But
well, I'd sure like to know how to find these crafts people on Twitch. I had no idea they had crafts.
Well, you can start with my friend. You can start with my friend Heather.
Okay, write that down.
Crafter. But it's spelled different, okay? Because actually Crafter is her name, her last name. But it's spelled K, spelled with a K and two A's. So it's Kraafter.
Whoa. Okay.
And so she has the Craft Shack. Okay, so write this down. KRAAFTSHAAK. So she's stuck with the AA.
Okay.
So it's Craft Shack.
That's clever.
And
Okay.
she does painting. She does a lot of florals and landscape, but craft paintings, not realistic paintings. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do both of you have the LinkedIn video yet?
I never even applied.
Okay. Do you, Barb, or do you care about LinkedIn at all?
I've
never heard you mention LinkedIn.
I could turn it on at any point in time, but I don't know that is I think I've actually put that in the group that you and I are all in.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to go there at this point in time for my own reasoning because I just don't need to.
Yeah.
But and also I think it's not going to be very long at all before that's wide open.
Hi, Curtis.
Hey, Curtis.
Because it's happened.
LinkedIn, Barb, I wonder because I think LinkedIn moves very slow. And I won't be surprised if it's not until 2021 before they open it up. They don't even allow.
Yeah, because I keep checking, and
they don't even allow the comments to be pinned on screen. I don't even.
But there's another product.
Beg your pardon?
That's another product.
What's another product? The
Just
comments,
watch.
huh?
That changes are coming. That's all.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not gonna,
Well, we know changes are always coming to all the apps.
I hope Curtis can join us.
About anything. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, all I'm saying is I don't even like to watch LinkedIn Live because I don't like that they can't pin the comments.
Well, here's what happened. Our economy, all of those things, all the bells and whistles, because of what happened in our economy now, that's changed because it's all about the people are working from home and it's all about relationships. And the whole thing, as we were sold on going live on LinkedIn, is the professional presence of our companies. But now Microsoft, the Teams, all the capabilities, I think, didn't I talk to you about Teams yesterday? You were the one.
I told you I used it. I used it at work.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I haven't used it. And I signed in last night, and I said, "This is what's happening." And so I emailed a friend of mine that actually works at Microsoft, and it's pivot time. So things have to change for the needs of what we can actually accomplish in moving things forward. And I think, to me, these out of the muck and mire and all the downside, there are good things happening that'll be forever changing.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think you and I touched on that a little yesterday, Eileen, in our discussion, because it is a true awakening worldwide. But I mean, the caveat is, we'd prayed to get to this point, and it's here. But if the internet goes down, totally new story.
Okay, Barb, you said that twice. I do not want that to happen. That would be chaos.
Well, that's, and that's why. Absolutely. So you have to think, I feel comfortable because I go clear back to the CB days. So,
breaker, 1-9.
Right. So
well, my whole business is online, so.
Right. So that is the thing about, and I keep saying, keep the positive energy flowing, because the more, you can go back and test that through time as well, is where did the changes take place? How did it move forward so fast? And if you look, then in those time frames, attitudes changed. And oftentimes it takes a leader, it takes someone with great vision that's stepping forward that other people can relate to, universally, to just by their movement for these things to inspire others to get rolling. But I think that what we've all been through, I mean, like I said, to me, I spoke to my husband early this morning, and I said, I distinctly, I don't know about you girls, but I distinctly remember 9/11, exactly where I was, what I was
to the second. Oh yeah,
every single thing, and then how you go through this. It can't be happening. You go through. You saw it on television. And some people were there. I had a friend who actually worked in the building with other friends that we lost, and he was on his way driving down. He was late. His wife kept him at home for something, and he was frustrated, and he called me because he was going to be late, and we had something. We were working virtually together, but he had something and had to get into the office, and he had to pull over. And he heard about, so imagine I mean, I'm just sharing that with you. I've got goosebumps on my arms.
Wow.
And the impact of those who are left behind and the families, the cities, the countries, and so forth. I think almost every one of us went through PTSD without even realizing it,
Sure.
and so lesson learned. Let's don't let that happen again. Is like we have a choice right now. And it's just like you say, I'm turning off the news because all it is negativity, and it's inconsistent, and it's like who said what to whom, and nothing. What's real? Well,
I want to say two things. First, a very dear friend of mine lost her husband in 9/11. Okay, in the first building, as a matter of fact, so where the plane hit was the floors, because he worked with Marshall McClellan. Kevin, rest in peace, Kevin Bowser. And anyway, but his wife and I grew up together. Literally, we've been knowing each other since we were born. Our parents, and we're still friends to this day. We're on a group chat together. We just congratulated somebody for having a grandbaby. So anyway, the other thing that I wanted to say was, I lost my thought thinking about Kevin. Just blew my mind. But it was heart wrenching, But you think about like how things could really go wrong with what's going on now. This is why I encouraged everybody earlier about not spending that money, because we just don't know. Like even myself, I feel very secure. I feel like my job's not going anywhere. And but who knows? In 6 months,
you never know.
There could be some repercussion where they say we don't need to do this anymore. The conversation on Ask the Podcast Coach this morning, where we had a couple of educators were there talking about the change of education. Like, will they need snow days anymore now that all the teachers are going online? All the kids, they're sending Chromebooks home to thousands and thousands of children.
That's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
So there was one guy last week. I was on Ask the Podcast Coach. They had 60,000 Chromebooks. I can't remember what state he was in, or he is in, I should say. And all kind of red tape. Liability that they were worried about at his school district. Well, all that went away.
Right.
So he went from deploying like 10 or 20 Chromebooks to staff to now deploying it to 60,000.
That's amazing.
People, all these children, especially. Because, but like I said, they were all worried that, you can't send it in the underprivileged homes because, I don't know, somebody's cousin might spill a beer. I don't know what the heck they were worried about. I'm just making that up, right? Like, they're not worried about that now, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's different, but learn from what we went through. Those of us who were there at that time, some of them were babies, but what we went through, what made the big shift. Think about that. And that's what I'm saying. The positive energy will prevail. And people always say, "Oh, that's too woo-woo," and so forth. I'm telling you that it all started right up here
Yeah.
because when 9/11 happened and I lost the clientele, I wasn't worried because I had resources, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like Patricia said, but 6 months later, you never know.
It's really bad.
And the stock market and what happened, the .com bust, everything just kind of, because there was negative momentum and people weren't thinking straight. And I think, God, I'm an American. I'll just tell you, because and I believe in Americans in America, because the attitude of residents of this country overall is one of togetherness and survival and unity.
Well,
And it will
let's hope it
prevail.
prevails. Yeah, because
Oh, it will. I have
my
no
dad,
doubt.
my dad was born in 1925, and it was interesting to talk to my grandmother, who went through the Depression, and how tough it was, and how she worked in the school system. They didn't even get paid money. They got paid in script, something called script,
Wow.
and you could use that script in the grocery store so you wouldn't starve to death. It wasn't really based on U.S. currency. It was just a way to instead of sending people a check for $1,000, it was a way to at least make sure that people ate. And they went through so much during the Depression. I know we can get through this, but of course, for a lot of us who haven't been through turmoil and heartbreak
Well, the difference is it doesn't stop with one day, one episode, or 2 or 3 episodes in one day. This is ongoing for months.
Oh, yeah.
And then the carrot's hanging out there. Well, it could come again until we actually have a vaccine that we're sure it can be taken care of. So it's us against that. It's us as human beings against that, and not about another country and so forth. But I'm just saying that in the United States of America, and what America is about and what we're about as Americans, in my parents' lifetime, my grandparents' lifetime, and what was brought forward, and through me, I really believe that we have what it takes to prevail.
We've got what it takes. We better just have the heart for it.
Well,
Now, I hope you don't mind if I go back to the whole watch parties thing.
Yeah.
gosh, Eileen.
Now, not Twitch this time. I want to talk about Facebook watch parties.
I have never put one
I use
on.
this. Now your DJ thing, you could use that right now. Your DJ skills. Oh my God, that's where it's a lot of DJs are really, really missing out, because that's what I did in a couple of my
DJs on now.
And so if you take, because Facebook wants you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take over, Eileen, but that because she is a DJ. When she said that the other day, I thought, why aren't you doing watch parties? Because you have the skills, about the personality side and the showmanship on that. And Facebook was actually testing, and maybe Eileen has this answer, because they were testing so that you could come in during a watch party. Or Eileen, did they not? Is that rolled out, or is that still in test mode?
Okay. So this is why I brought it up. Because right now, the number one video on my channel is on my YouTube channel is how to go live inside of a Facebook watch party. And the video was doing well. Okay. But when COVID hit, Google search, not YouTube search, Google search skyrocketed that video.
Whoa.
Everybody is searching for going live in a while. And usually like that, I would never think that people even knew that you could do that. I just put that video out there because it's something I found that we could do. Of course, Facebook never announced it. Facebook, there is no like a Facebook article that says,
well, I don't think it's officially out of beta, is it? isn't out of actual
How
data.
can you know if they don't?
Well, I'm on that side. So let me,
Okay.
but you know, we have that something in the group about that, but I'm telling you, it is like she said, it's going on. You need to drop that link in for,
Okay, well, wait, I didn't finish the story.
Yeah, go ahead.
go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
It stopped working.
Oh, that's why it's
It
beta.
doesn't work. You will not believe how many comments I respond to every day. It's not doing it for me. Or people, or maybe sometimes it does work because somebody will say, it happened. I did it the other day. And I'm like, thank God, at least you did it once. But it's not doing it anymore. And Pat, there's a group that we're in, the work focus group. I tested this morning to see, and I did a watch party this morning, and it was not there. And I checked my phone and desktop, and the option was not there.
Do you mind if we could go all the way back?
Yes.
Now, a watch party, yeah, that's playing somebody else's video. Is that what that means?
All right. Okay, so let's go back. Okay. And when I was talking about Twitch watch parties, I was talking about watching Amazon Prime content, right?
Yes.
Facebook watch parties is nothing like that. Any video that's on Facebook, any video, yours, mine, T-Day, Jake's, whoever, Oprah, whoever has a video on Facebook, you can take that video, and this part still works, and do a watch party. You can post it on your page, your profile, or in a group.
Nice.
As a watch party.
Okay.
Your friends will see it because Facebook is pushing this.
All right, I've done
your friends will see. Pat started a watch party. Barb started a watch party. Okay. And then you go over and you can watch it. If you go over, you can watch it with that person, and you can do your commentary, your chat, just like as if that person was live.
Okay.
What we can also do now is say, okay, I had this one video that I wanted to watch, and it was about what's happening with the rainforest in Venezuela. I don't know. I'm just making that up. Yeah. And I know Pat is interested in that too. Let me invite her to add videos because she may know some other resources about this topic, or it could be a comedy thing. It could be any entertainment. It doesn't have to be something serious. Like I just picked that crazy topic, right? And so this could go on for hours and hours.
Right.
You can invite somebody else in and they could add a video.
Right.
Okay. But when you talk about going live, that means you're playing the video and then
going live would be now as you're playing that video and your friends are gathered watching, there will be a little icon you could click on, and then my little face would show up, or I could do audio only. And if you watch my video, you'll see I displayed both. I displayed desktop, how to do it, and how to do it on mobile. So everybody who watched that video knows that it worked.
Yeah,
it absolutely worked.
I'm going to check my emails on that
because I actually did it. But for the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks since that video has brought in thousands and thousands of views to my YouTube channel, it stopped working, or it works sometimes and then sometimes.
So it's a little picture in picture, the little square.
It'll be actually round.
Oh,
yeah. And it'll be down at the bottom. Like when you're doing a watch party, all the folks that are watching along with you, their little icons will be down at the bottom.
I like that idea because you know what's really popular on YouTube are reaction videos where people show you an episode of a TV show and in their face as they react to it.
Well, that's what the Twitch watch parties are like.
Okay.
Okay. But this is based on, go ahead. I'm sorry, Barb. Go ahead.
Let me take you a step further because my interest is DJing, Patricia, because everybody loves music. Everybody loves music. And music and art are really big at this point in time because that helps the positive forward movement too. And so your talents there. So consider this. Now I have I have more than 2 systems, but I have 2 systems that I'm usually working with that are live on Facebook at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And so in one of my groups that has like 30,000 in it, it's a secret group. And in that group, I put the watch party, I activate it, then I can go into StreamYard and I can put my live StreamYard in the comments.
Okay, wait.
Are you seeing what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've got there, and they can pop a window that they have sitting right beside there with my commentary at the same time. Outside,
Okay.
I'm still in Facebook
Yeah.
as myself, but I'm on 2 different computers, 2 different sources. I've not tried it on.
You can't do that with Get Vocal, for example. When I am on Get Vocal and then I try to open Get Vocal on another device, it shuts down. You can only be on, like, you know what I mean? Just one.
I'm not an. I'm not a.
One account. Only one account is allowed to be open at a time.
Yeah, but Facebook, I have monitoring. I've probably got 4 things here right now monitoring different in Facebook to manage, because that's how I manage so many groups and stuff, and being able to keep in touch with stuff. And that's why when I told you that I think I was with you that one day and I said, I can't turn my notifications off. For some reason, I can't turn my notifications off. Remember, they were coming up in my screen share.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, I know how to turn my notifications off. I turn them off, but they didn't turn off. You know, I did what I was supposed to do to turn them off.
That was a glitch or
They
something.
did not turn off. And so that's where the glitches, those are the kinds of things that happen. But you can do it. But the importance for, like, if you have the DJ talents, round up your playlists, search Facebook, because you will find the music videos on Facebook. I have every single one I've done that I've thought of in my head, I found on Facebook, and I was totally surprised. Original performances too. So you can create a playlist, give your history. You can do a lot to embellish it, the watch party, and even asking the participants to drop their links to their favorite music in, from YouTube in the chat during that time.
Okay, and thanks for putting in that link, Eileen.
So yeah, I put the link in there so you guys could see the video. I put it on the Facebook side, just so that's where most people are. So I can also screen share. I just want you guys to see just a quick snippet.
Go ahead, Barb.
Go ahead, Barb.
Because we are on StreamYard, you could actually, she's going to share her premium channel. She owns that video. She can play that.
Yes, but I don't want to play the whole video. I just want you guys to see how to go live in a Facebook watch party. And I think around here may show what I show. Okay, this is me showing how to actually start the watch party on your mobile device. Right?
Nice.
Watch party. And then I actually did the watch party. And here's where it's prompting me to turn my camera on before I go live inside of it. Okay, so you guys can watch the video. And like I said, right now, the feature is in limbo. But the next thing I want to show you guys is the traffic. The video I launched in December the 15th. Wow. Working just fine.
Gee whiz.
It was chugging right along, just getting a few. It was popular.
And then boom.
But March the 14th.
Yeah.
And then now I'm all the way up to 10,000 views. So, and the reason I'm showing you this, okay, is because this is what people are searching for.
Whoa. For real?
Most of that is coming from Google.
Okay.
That's important.
Let's see. Now, if Facebook had an article about this, then people would, but they don't have an article about it.
Isn't that clever, though?
Finding my video. And they're coming over. And now, like I said, I've got comment after comment after comment.
Nice.
It's not working, or it was working and it stopped, or I don't even get the little icon, or it just keeps going around and around and around. It's like
I
all
think
different comments
your
about that.
your situation and maybe other people's success will maybe convince them to make it a permanent fixture.
I don't think that I don't think that they don't want to. I just don't think that their servers are overloaded right now. And so the last thing they're worried about is trying to fix going live in the watch party. You can still do the watch party.
That's very true, because they did say that expect delays and glitches because everybody's on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. They reduced the video quality. You know, I mean, Facebook's got a huge job to contend with right now because of massive of people that are I mean, they're even going to Google searching about Facebook.
So even Zuckerberg didn't foresee this.
You know, I mean, hey, having servers costs money. You don't want them sitting there not doing anything, right? So you can imagine, I don't know what kind of server farms they have. I'm not even going to try to wrap my brain around what that would look like, right? But you have enough. And of course, you have extra, right?
Okay, hopefully.
The same thing. Don't just say Facebook, because YouTube has the same problem. YouTube is also reducing the video. Yeah. When you go on YouTube now, and it may be sporadic, you'll see a video, it'll be in 480p. You have to literally go in there and change it. And they put out statements saying that this is what they're doing.
I didn't know.
Yeah. So it's not just Facebook. No, I mean, it's just a testament to the fact that people are now searching for these ways to stay connected and to, as much as possible, to put their content out there, or other content that their friends could be entertained or educated with. And like Barb is saying to you, as far as your DJing, this is a perfect time to go ahead and you know, DJ, I'm sorry, what's his name? D-Nice is was a rapper, and he's been a DJ for years. He started hosting, he didn't know. He was on Instagram, and he's just started having a party, you know. Well, he was going beyond the length of time that you can go live on Instagram. But his shows were so popular. I know I went there once because I saw people saying, y'all better go check out D-Nice. Okay. And there was hundreds of thousands of people watching.
Ooh,
I went, right? Zuckerberg stepped in and extended his limit.
Excuse me.
Like 16 hours. Okay. So now more people are doing this, but I don't think Zuckerberg is going to give everybody the opportunity to do that. But now the guy from The Roots, who is the musical director for one of Jimmy Kimmel's show or whatever, Questlove, and he's from Philly.
Questlove. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Questlove
is doing a similar thing on his channel. And then even when Bill Withers passed away last week, he did a whole night of Bill Withers, and he's been doing Stevie Wonder. And I think today I saw Prince, and, you know, so this is a thing that the DJs are doing for sure.
Now, I'm not trying to push back at all, but I'm not that kind of DJ. You know, all the DJs I've seen, you know, they're actively, you know, jamming and they're pushing the buttons.
They're not doing nothing. They're just standing there playing the music. They're not doing any kind of entertainment. They're just playing whatever the music is that people want to listen to.
Okay, because I've been seeing them mixing and scratching. Okay. Because I don't do that. I just play music.
Nope.
No, it's the personality side.
Okay.
And that's the comments. If you do keep the comments going, you will get the engagement. And if you notice, if you have friends come in, because it really works great in groups. If you are the admin in a group and you have all kinds of notification options, actually, because you can set up an event, as you know, ahead of time. You can prepare, you can plan if you want to, and put it on at regular intervals. but you can test it out to begin with. And
It's worth a
just-
try. It's
Yeah,
worth a try.
absolutely.
I've actually played music on Periscope, but I wouldn't show my face. Instead, I would show the iTunes abstract player, whatever it is,
Mhm.
goes to the music. Yeah, that's the
Uh-huh.
only thing I usually would only get just a few people.
So what you can do is, in the meantime, while you're thinking about it, just watch, go over to.
I will do that.
I think D Nice. I'm not sure if D Nice is still doing it, but he was featured on TMZ. They were giving him a shout out on TMZ because he's the first one that did it and got massive popularity. And then Questlove started, but the Questlove YouTube channel is actually The Roots, because that's the group that he's part of. So you would just go to The Roots YouTube channel, or you could look up DJ D Nice.
Okay.
On Instagram.
I will definitely do that.
And I don't know if he's still doing it, but the first night, like I said, it blew up.
It sounds amazing.
I could not believe when I went. I'm sure I got a screenshot somewhere because I could not believe that I went there and there was like 300,000 people were watching.
Unbelievable.
Well, I do anything except playing music.
I do know that is the hot thing. All the DJs are doing it now.
Yeah, and just the comments were just going. But every now and then he would see somebody like, I just so happened MC Light came in and he said, "Hey Light, what's going on?" And I was like, wow.
And there is karaoke on Facebook as well. I mean, that's in our group, our the Power Admins group. They put link. Those groups are growing wildly. I mean, they'd only opened the group in March. And I mean, there's like 6 figures in the groups now. So
cool.
It is available to a certain degree. I think it is it Sing Snap or something like that? There are several apps anyhow that they're dealing with, but it's all about the music, the positivity, and moving things forward. So I think
I'll look into it. So far, I've only seen hip hop DJs. And I do have hip hop, but I think what I would like to do is to play dance music from around the world. That's what I would like to do. Something different. I don't want to compete with people playing the same stuff.
Yeah.
Because I have music literally. I've got Kenyan rap. I've got K-pop. I've got a lot of Brazilian music, old school R&B. I like to mix it all up. That's probably why I only get a few people watching, because my music does not necessarily appeal. I'm just talking about the young people that I know, but most young people tend to like what they're accustomed to.
Yeah, mainstream.
Yeah. And although when I do play out, because I do play it, believe it or not, at the bus station once a month. Of course, that's been curtailed, because of this. But anyway, I've had young people run up to me with pieces of paper and, "What was that you just played?" Because I'll play music from Turkey, Mexico, whatever. And so I think they're interested, but they're not accustomed to being exposed to different music. And even people in my age group, what's that?
You're using vinyl, right?
What'd you say?
You're using vinyl, right?
No. Everything is totally MP3 laptop.
Okay, so you have it on the computer.
That's all I do now. I started out with CDs, but now it's strictly iTunes, to be honest. And I know the professional DJs use Serato and all that stuff. I don't bother with that. I just play music, because basically when I'm hired to play, I'm just hired to play music. I don't scratch. I don't mix. I don't beat match all that stuff. I just play. I just play music.
Right.
And usually when I play music, people are able to follow the beat. They don't
just have a wonderful
they don't need any help. Oh yeah, I got stuff from 1920s to the future.
Well, my friend Mr. Rodney, he just got his smartphone recently. And so he's discovered now that he can go onto YouTube
Mhm.
and just watch concerts. So he's been in there watching Grover Washington and David Sanborn. He's
Mhm.
just been watching concerts from YouTube.
Awesome. Hey, Alfredo.
Hi. Uh,
Alfredo.
hi. When there's three beautiful ladies on stream, I appear, and I'm so glad that you ladies are here. Did I
Thank you,
just
Alfredo.
make a rhyme there?
Where's your
I'll be
face?
right back, you guys.
Okay.
How did he do that?
Where's
Do
your
what?
face, Alfredo? You need some
Oh,
lighting
I got
there.
it light. Okay, let me position my card
Yeah.
here. Let me position my card. Hold on. Does
That's much better. Okay.
there? Is that better?
Much better. Okay, you were
Yeah.
in silhouette for a minute there. Hey, so what's new in California?
Well, COVID's still active, but we're safe at home.
Mhm.
And there's stuff on my hair, but it's not a dome. Why am I rhyming today? I don't know, because there's ladies on this wonderful show.
Oh boy. I've seen you on. We were talking about Twitch earlier. I've seen you on Twitch.
I was on Twitch. I haven't streamed in Twitch in a while. I only stream
I
when
mean,
I have.
I know you have a Twitch channel. We were just
Oh,
talking about, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Where can you fill me in? What I missed when you were on Twitch?
Eileen was talking
I'm
about. She was telling me something I never heard of, that you can have a watch party on Twitch because they're owned by
that is
Amazon.
new. That is a new one. Yeah.
So you can
I
play.
didn't. Huh?
You can
Yeah, I didn't
choose.
know there was a watch party capabilities there. That's
Yeah,
something that they
you
added.
can choose certain shows from Amazon's playlist.
Oh, it's not your show. It's
Yeah, you can play stuff from what do you call it? Prime,
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. Not everything's available, but you can.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
your face can be in there in a circle,
right.
and you can talk and I guess laugh or whatever.
Yeah.
So that might be kind of fun. You can play like maybe a kids um, show with your children laughing and watching on Twitch. That might be kind of cool.
Yes, it would be kind of cool. I would still have to order Prime though and make sure that's within my budget, because
Mm.
a lot of times I don't order monthly services until I really do need them.
I got you. Hey, Eileen,
Hello,
I
Miss
was.
Eileen.
Hey, so they don't give you a discount on it?
Just because I work at Amazon doesn't mean I don't get discounts.
Yeah, is that a yes or a no?
No, I don't get.
You don't get the
discounts.
discount.
No.
Seems like
The
they
only
Everybody-
discount I get is through when I order through Amazon's website. That's the only discount codes I get.
Okay.
All of you should get Prime for free so you can promote it to your friends. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, marketing, people.
Well, we're in operations. We're not part of the entertainment.
No. I meant Amazon should know the.
It also depends on what we are trying to do as operations. I mean, if operations is going to delve into live streaming, then
I meant all
let it-
Amazon employees.
right. But you have to understand, operations is about getting things done, not entertaining people.
I know, but still. I mean, as an individual, you could be telling everybody to get Prime, and they would. I mean, Amazon would make more money. They'd pass it on to you because they're a good company. So there you go. So we're just shooting the breeze, Alfredo. We're not really saving the world or anything. I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, because we have the
About-
two not rookies. We have two veterans here in the live streaming business.
Yeah, I'm
I'm looking at Eileen and Barb here.
look at all these notes I've taken. Yeah, serious. So, because now's the time, a lot of people are getting online for the very first time because they're home now.
I do have a friend listening in. Her name is. Am I allowed to give her name here, or?
Sure.
Okay, I got okay from her and you guys, so it's okay. Her name is Dahlia Turnbull. She can listen in. She's like she's in my ear, but I have to.
Oh yeah, how are you?
You guys know who she is? You guys know who she is?
Yeah, I remember her.
Okay.
We used to blab together quite a bit.
Where did you meet Dahlia, Eileen?
Blab.
Oh, she was through Blab. Yeah. Yeah, Dahlia says she remembers you.
I know she
Cool.
does. We're connected on Instagram too.
Good. Hey, Dahlia, Dahlia, are you able to enter as a guest here, or you're on the road right now? Okay. I'll give her the link, guys, so that she can come in.
Okay. Okay.
You got a party going on over here, Pat.
I
Yeah, we
know.
got 5 ladies
We
and
got
1
all-
dude. That's the party.
You know, I think a lot of people are really, realizing how awesome StreamYard is. A conversation came up about audio on Zoom
Mm-hmm.
versus, using the audio on. Oh, and that's something I need to talk to Gage about. Apparently, when we download this audio, if you want to use it for a podcast,
Yes.
there's something called VBR. It's just
Okay.
one of the settings for your audio. And
ratio.
VBR. Beg your pardon?
That's the bit ratio.
Yeah, it's variable bit rate.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want a variable bit rate on a podcast. You want a CBR, which is
Did you
constant.
click off on the audio? Remember, that's because that's what he did for podcasters. At the very beginning, you have a choice of not allowing them to mix the audio. Did you do that?
This was not me having this conversation. This was on Ask the Podcast Coach. By the way, that's the third time I mentioned that this morning. Dave Jackson from the School of Podcasting and Jim Cullison from TheAverageGuy.tv, two well-known podcasters, and talk about veterans. And
So-
of course, Dave Jackson's a Hall of Famer.
I forwarded the link to Dahlia right now, so she'll be joining us.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I actually have never used my audio from StreamYard for a podcast.
Yeah, you
This was
have,
Hmm?
you have to. They actually have a special setting for audio for podcasting. That was one of the reasons why the podcasting community came over there.
Well, this was Dave Jackson saying this, so I'm assuming that he's using the special audio because they use StreamYard. They've been using it on Ask the Podcast Coach for months, and and they wear headphones and all that stuff that I don't like to do. And they said, and Dave is the one who said that the audio is variable bit rate, which you don't want on a podcast. Don't get me wrong. Podcasters do it all the time that aren't tech savvy like Dave.
Mm-hmm.
But you should be using CBR, which is the constant bit rate,
Okay.
because it's a technical thing that has to do with some podcatchers won't play back your audio correctly if you're using variable bit rate.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
But yeah, and I think that's probably something that Gage could easily fix.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is fixed. I think there's some misunderstanding there.
It's possible. It could be because
And they haven't been using it for months. I think they've been using it since the first of the year or something. I remember putting a link in Born to Stream Live the first day they were using it.
yeah,
They've been using it recently.
that's the months I'm talking about. The months, the
Well,
last few months. Yep, but they go live every week.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to review that because that's one of the reasons why the podcasting community came over is because StreamYard did address audio option for them, and they warn people if they're using it for podcasting to set that off. I'm not the expert there.
Yeah.
Remember that conference I told you I was attending? Webinar I was attending.
Uh-huh.
Well, it was on StreamYard. Glenn Mulcahy, who runs Mojo Fest, which is the one I went to in Ireland. He's in Ireland. I've been telling everybody about StreamYard. I don't know if he got it from me, but I was thrilled to see him use StreamYard for the conference. So they had people in all these different countries talking about storytelling and video and production and all that kind of stuff. And they used StreamYard. I was so thrilled.
Well, whatever happened with Krishna and Peter. I know they
They disappeared. I don't know.
They were
Okay.
using Blue Jeans, and
That's
Blue
why I
Jeans
mentioned
is
it.
an enterprise level product, and that had to do with the security and everything with the BBC and Peter, and why
I
that
felt
was,
so bad when they ended their show, though.
yeah. And then
But
I
they
know
had 2 shows, and I don't know
Yeah.
whatever
they
happened.
actually switched to audio. Yeah, they had switched to audio too.
I-
But I knew that something had changed in that when they stopped the first one, when they
Mhm.
made that switch.
Yeah.
And Krishna does have children at home. She has school age children,
Okay.
so I'm
Okay.
sure she's been got lots of responsibility at this point in time. You have to.
Hey, Candace.
Hi,
She's
Candace.
she's just listening to. She's a fantastic visual artist.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
from
Yeah.
lab days.
So she's going to join
Is
me
she
on another day. She's just
Oh,
listening today. She lived in Durham for a while. She's in California now. I can't remember which city, but she's in California. Wonderful
Yeah, so
artist.
Ruth posted that information, which I really have only seen from Ruth about Verizon purchasing Blue Jeans.
mhm.
That's what made me think
Oh, that's right.
the only people that I know that use it, well, they don't use it anymore, I guess. I don't
There's
know.
still Blue Jean staff in the Born to Stream Live group. You know that?
But did they ever come in and say anything about the
They
acquisition?
communicate with me. They've communicated with me via Messenger and stuff, but I don't because Facebook uses them too. But that's
Mhm.
enterprise level in the end.
Mhm.
It's going to be interesting how this all plays out now that Microsoft is also stepping up to the plate. It's going to be this next 6 months is going to be extremely interesting in that
Wait.
arena because the demand is there.
Hmm.
So we
What
have
about
Amazon.
what about Google though? It seems like they've kind of like stepped back for a while, in
It
my
didn't-
opinion.
I haven't checked the version. Maybe Eileen knows more about that than I do. About
You mean
the
Google
Hangout,
Fiber?
the
No,
No, the Google from the live
Hangout.
desktop, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Because
Because
I just happened to. I was mentioning Google Fiber. I was amazed. I was downtown this week, and I was amazed to see that the Google Fiber office is open now. I thought because at first they had inroads. They were digging ditches and installing whatever you call it, the fiber whatever they were, whatever Google Fiber is. But they gave up, and so I thought they were leaving town, but they just opened up their office
Okay.
because they were offering like twice the speed at half the price or something crazy as far as fast speed internet. I don't know if that's true.
there's a couple of people that report that it is amazing. For example, Rob Walsh,
Ooh.
Lipson, he talks about it. He's been bragging about it for a
Ooh.
year, but he lives in Kansas City.
Okay. He's in Kansas and he has Google Fiber.
Kansas City,
Kansas
Oh.
City, Google.
Oh, okay.
Missouri, if I'm not mistaken. I think I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Because
There's more than one, right?
yeah,
But anyway, wherever he lives,
probably Missouri, I would think.
he's in the Midwest. How about
Okay.
that? He
Because-
has it and he loves it.
Because Durham is a cool city, but I don't live in the choicest neighborhood. So, but I live very close to one university and one community college. So maybe my community will be included.
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think that they're going to in places where there isn't saturation by Verizon or
Hmm.
I don't think that they're going like you probably have. What do you have, Turner?
What do I have? Spectrum, which was
Spectrum.
Time Warner. I think
Yeah, yeah. Those
But here's the thing: since they opened the office, that makes me think that
They're
they're going to restart
I
with the
think
installation of.
yeah.
Because that's the reason why I think Time Warner sent me a fast speed modem or whatever you call those things, router or whatever you call those things.
All right.
Because Google Fiber was in my neighborhood. They were on Riddle Road, not too far
Whoa.
from me.
they're laying the groundwork.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden I get this new router in the mail. And I'm like,
yeah, see,
ooh.
like they wouldn't come to Philly because we got Fios. And there's, so many people already using a fiber optic. So it would be harder, not saying this, they're not ever coming, but it would be harder for them to penetrate this market because you got your people that love Comcast. I never liked Comcast.
My sister doesn't like.
I'm more into Verizon and Fios, right? But
do you have fiber optics?
Yeah, I've had it for years. I mean, you never really see me struggle with internet.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Why am I always the one left with the bad internet? Why is that? I'm like always playing catch up here.
It just all depends on where you live and
yeah.
And we had back in the day, Comcast used to be called Prism. And when we first got cable here in Philadelphia, that was the only thing you got was Prism. You didn't get all these channels that we got now and HTV and all that. You just got Prism. And boy, was there a big bootleg market because we knew a guy that Prism, and then we told our friends and they told their friends. And matter of fact, one of our friends told us, and that dude was just making, he had everybody hooked up bootleg.
Really?
Bootleg internet? Wait, is that what you said, Bunny?
No, it wasn't internet. It was just cable.
Oh,
I do remember those days in Chicago.
You weren't on internet back in those days. And I was with my daughter's father. So we're talking 30+ years, almost 50 years ago.
I do remember those days in Chicago. And I also happen to know, I don't know how I know this, but you would give him an extra $20 for Disney. And he would slip this silver thing. Not that I know this.
You heard.
I heard. You slip in this thing on the line and you could get Disney.
Yeah, and then some people had an extra special packet. And my father, rest in peace, Percy. Yes, I'm putting your business out there. He was the only one that could get the fights. So when everybody else that had Prism was just thinking, the fight is coming on tonight, we're going to watch it. And they didn't get it. They all flew over to my dad's house, the property I just sold last year.
The pizza and beer was flowing.
My mom didn't have enough. My mom didn't have enough snacks for all the people. I mean, it would be so many people. I was young.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was just like exciting that everybody, but it was literally wall to wall in the row house, Pat.
Okay.
In the row, literally like you walking around like this.
Wow.
Because the fight. But anyway, so then Comcast bought Prism because Prism was about to go out of business because everybody was getting bootleg, right?
Wow.
So now Comcast here is called Xfinity. I don't know if that means they broke off another company. I don't know.
It's possible.
But, I lost faith in them years ago. And
well, I'm with Spectrum, and check this out. So when I was with Time Warner, I got the turbo speed internet for it was $99 a month. I didn't mind. And then they were taken over or whatever, became Spectrum. And then Spectrum kept calling me, and I was, ignoring them because I know they would keep trying to get me to get cable TV. And I don't watch regular TV, But anyway, so finally somebody got through and we spoke. And they said, we'd like to review your account because, you've been with Time Warner for a while, but we're Spectrum. We'd like to. So anyway, they were able to up my speed a little, but they lowered the price to $77 a month now, which is pretty wild. So now I'm paying less.
They up my speed too, but I think we're about paying the same price.
90 something or
it's $80 or $70.
Because 70 something is like I don't mind paying that at all.
Yeah.
Did you want to put something?
Yeah, I just want you guys, everybody who, especially if you're a live streamer, you definitely want to test your internet speed. It's important to know.
Okay.
And
Okay.
actually, I got to test it again because it only gave me my download. And you really need to know your uploads. Your upload is the most important number.
Okay.
And you don't go to speedtest.net. You don't do that.
No.
You just go to Google and you type in speed test.
Okay, wait. Google.
Just go to Google
And type speed
and
test.
type in the word speed test.
Well, everybody says you go to the other. What's wrong with the
I
other
know,
one?
but the other one, first of all, the other one's got a bunch of ads all over it. This is you don't need to worry about that. This is telling me that my server is in New York. So see, I will have to do this again because you'll see when you go in there and you type in speed test, you'll see a blue button that says run speed test.
Okay.
Through Google.
Yes, through
Yes.
Google.
Google is the one who's supplying this speed test. I mean,
I don't remember what I have.
maybe
Okay. Dahlia wanted to mention something. What was it?
Who?
Dahlia.
Is she in the
He's listening
She's talking
to
to
her.
my ear. She's not
okay.
she's not in.
All right, then go ahead and talk to her. So anyway, actually this is a low score for me because I'm not near my main router, but I do have a second router here. It should be better than this. But that's why I got the second router because I know this is like a low area for me.
And this, you get a better speed when you connect your cable from the router to the laptop, right?
I've never, and you know me a long time.
It makes no difference?
No. I didn't say that. I'm saying because I got Fios. I've never done that. Never.
Because right now I am connected. I have an Ethernet cable strung across my living room behind the piano.
Yeah. I mean, the cables that came with my router, they're still wrapped up nice and neat, with the little twisty tie on it. And I
don't notice any quality difference between being attached with internet, Ethernet and Wi-Fi. I think my speed is fast enough that it seems not to make a difference. I don't notice a difference.
This is what you would do this test, but you need to do it more than once. Like do it at night because there's still, no matter what they tell you when they sell you the package, you're still sharing. You're sharing internet.
Sure.
Because it's only coming through one fiber, right? So test it a few times, and if you see that the numbers are really close, then you can put that cable up. That little port.
That makes sense. I've never done it with the cable. That makes perfectly good sense.
Yeah, just test it. Just go to that speed test.
Okay.
Actually, I got shout out to David Foster from Live Streaming Pros. Because he's the one, because he hates Comcast. He's the one that shared, just go to speed test instead of going to speedtest.net and seeing all those ads and all of that.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that because I'm going to check that out.
And for those that, live in areas where they do have different services, like if you don't have fiber, then just go back to whoever it is you have, be it Turner or whoever, and ask them to give you a business package or find out what the rates are if you can afford it. I'm not saying do that right now. Right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general, if somebody who wants to get into live streaming and they know they don't have good downloads and uploads, and you know what? Actually, now might be a good time to call your cable. I was on the internet and it just keeps crashing because I got so many people in the house. They don't know how many people you got.
Yeah.
And everywhere, all on there. And they may, because of COVID, right? They may just say, "Oh, we'll take care of you. We'll give you." They may even boost. You may wind up paying less. Last time I went up to the next level, my bill was reduced.
Nice. Because I was just telling you with Spectrum, they didn't have to lower my monthly rate from 99 to 77, but they did. I appreciate it.
Because it's competition.
They want me to be a loyal customer for when Google Fiber comes
I
knocking on my
appreciate
door.
that. Right, because like Verizon has my loyalty. So
Because Google Fiber is saying for $45, I'll get like a million. I don't know about a million, but a super duper fast internet
mm-hmm.
for $45.
I have not heard one person ever complain about Google Fiber. Never.
Mm.
I've got like on my down is like 147.5.
Great. It's the up is the number that's important.
And then you've got 40 something going up.
Yeah. Download is just think about it. When you're live streaming, you're sending up.
Okay.
Right.
Downloading is when you download something, you're downloading a file or whatever. It's nice to have good download speeds, don't get me wrong. But when you're live streaming, and if you see problems, if all of a sudden you see getting pixelated, and if you test and you're still fine, then it's these servers. YouTube servers, Facebook servers that are just overloaded.
I got you. I hate to leave now, but I promised my godmother and my play aunt some cornbread.
Oh,
my cousin got cornbread yesterday, and Aunt Martha V and Aunt Mamie are like, "You gonna bring me some cornbread?"
You should have made two anyway, Pat.
Well, I can only make one at a time.
Okay.
I mean, I can actually. I gave them mini cornbreads last time because I had 2 small skillets, but I want each of them to get a big 10-inch cornbread because I have 1 10-inch skillet. So I'm going to get on that right now and start delivering cornbread.
Next time you go on Amazon, you're going to buy yourself another 10-inch skillet.
I should probably do that because I have 2 levels in my oven. I could do that.
Okay, well, it's been fun chatting.
It's fun hanging out with you. Thank you so. And both of you taught me a lot today.
Yeah. All right, Pat.
So Barb is taking herself out. I want to thank you, Barb.
Okay, bye, dear.
And Eileen, thank you so much. Appreciate it. What a fun show. I thought I was just going to be on for 5 or 10 minutes and ended up being on for 2 hours and 36 minutes. I've never been on this long. And I know nobody's going to watch the whole show. But anyway, I enjoyed myself in any case. Thank you, Alfredo, for being on the show as well. And Dahlia joined us via Alfredo's earpiece. And Candace was watching. And Curtis was watching. Let's see. Let me scroll through. Zakia was here. Who else? Somebody else was here. I don't know how to say this. Tridoy was here. Thank you for joining us. Fraser was here earlier. And one person, and Monica was here as well. Make sure I don't, okay. So there you go. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you Monday. Ciao for now.